we've gotten so wacky in so many ways. And in one way we've gotten wacky is on this thing about preaching. You haven't got to be called to preach. Just take off and do it. I mean, you know, old Dr. John used to say, if you witness to somebody, witness to them. But if another fellow comes up and witnessing to two, you haven't got to be called to talk to the two. He said, if 10 more come up, keep on telling them how to be saved. He said, if you end up with 1,000, just keep on doing it. Old Dr. John Rice used to say, he said, people ask me, are you called to preach? He said, I don't know. So I was up in Pacific Garden Mission one time in Chicago, and one of man to Christ, he's an old bum. Next night he came back with his shoes shining, a nice pair of pants, and a white shirt and a tie. He said, I thought this did sure beats English teaching. That's what I was doing. He said, I decided to do this all the time. He said, God don't know whether I'm called or not, but I'm going to preach till you stop me. He said, God hasn't stopped me yet, he said. And, I mean, we're crazy. We're wacky. You know, don't blame God because you're lazy. And don't blame God because you won't get... Listen, you don't have to be called to full-time service. Just surrender. And if God doesn't like it, he's got tornadoes and hurricanes and earthquakes. He can stop you just like that. And if you're here tonight, and let me say this, we're going to have some preachers and missionaries and assistant pastors and Christian school principals and Christian school teachers if we're going to save this country. Now, if we get them, reckon where God's going to take them from. Huh? He's going to take them from right here. He's going to come to meetings like this, and he's going to take them. When I was a kid preacher, I went all over this East Texas area preaching on country roads. I'd get me a fella could play the accordion, and I'd go all over these. I'm talking about Big Spring. I'm not Big Spring, Spring Hill. I'm talking about Gladewater. I'm talking about Big Sandy. I'm talking about Harleton. I'm talking about Hallsville. I'm talking about Wascom. I'm talking about Tatum. I'm talking about all these little towns around here. I'd go out in the woods and build me a brush arbor and get me a guy who could play the accordion. I'd go from house to house, say, we're going to have an accordion recital and preaching tonight. And bless God, that's before the box was invented. Nobody had a television set in those days, and most folks couldn't afford radio. And I'd preach in these campaigns around here, little old revival. You say, who's sponsoring you? Jesus is sponsoring me. That's who. And God never struck me with lightning because I wasn't called. I'm saying God gave me a call from within. America's going to hell while you sit there and say, I don't feel a call. Oh, shut up. You make me want to throw up and sometimes vomit and then sometimes puke.